Hello folks, today we've got this Bosch dryer that was given to me and it's throwing a lint filter error. It engages but no tumble. Open the door, you get your lint light. So I'm going to set it up on the patio workstation and give it a good cleaning. Control panel. See if you're working with the same machine. Of course, the first thing we want to look at is the vent trap. Now we're inside the lint trap housing. Oh look, there's a Phillips bit, and I just happen to have a magnet on me. So we're going to have to clean all this out, and that looks like a sensor right there, which is dirty. And it's not magnetized. This might be a sensor. And we're going to go about this with the direction of airflow. You see all the lint trapped in that vent? So the air from the blower gets heated, comes through this ventilation panel, through the close, into the lint vent trap, then exits the home through the exhaust pipe. Doesn't look like there's too much accessibility from the front. I've looked under the drawer. It's just a flat panel. Look for Phillips screws here. I didn't see any. This should give us good access, and it's mounted with T20 Torx all the way around. This dryer was given to me, so I don't have the electrical cover plate, but you'll have a few Torx holding that plate on. You pull off, and then we'll start with the access panel. Okay, that one probably isn't needed because the lip is there. Oh wow, it is needed. It holds this thing. I'm going to remove these as well, just under the electrical connection. So then you'll know if you need to remove them. It is necessary to remove these screws. They are what's holding this mounting bracket. And we want that to go with the dryer and have the panel come through. It's mounted here. I guess these two could have stayed in. These might be attached to the barrel. They're also a different size, a little thicker, so I got another container. Alright, we're getting access. Got 2 more screws. Something else has got it. Must be something on top. Oh, look at that! Just to recap, it won't come out until you slide back and then up, exposing these 2 screws on top. Same size Torx as the back panel. All right. So the airflow starts here, gets drawn through this unit, which contains a heating element, comes up this chute and enters the back of the dryer, that vent you seen earlier, then goes through the close into the lint catcher, through the blower, and then exits out the exhaust. I'm not sure how many lint sensors this unit has, and I have no clue what that rail does. This here is probably power for the heating element. This would be the reset for the high temperature setting on the heating element. That might be a lint sensor there, so I'm going to remove the whole unit just to make sure it's clean. Move these wires. Oh look! This one just came unplugged. Nice. I didn't mean it to happen that way. Here's the heating element. Looks pretty clean. A little rusty. Then we got that sensor, which is also clean, but there's a burn spot right here. So something's gotten hot. The fins on the blower could have lint buildup, but I'm just going to blow that out. And when I get the dryer running, if I have good airflow, I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to start in the front at the lint catcher and see how much comes out the exhaust port. The barrel started moving. So I do this kind of nonsense for your entertainment. And is it safe? Another area of concern would be this housing and the vent plate in the front. So I'm going to hit it with the leaf blower, see if anything comes out. This is the mounting bracket for the drum, and there's a felt here that seals the air around here. So we'll see if anything comes out. Just noticed there's a hole there. Not sure what that's for. You would think it'd be plugged off. Well, it must be there for a reason. We're back around front. All the lint cleaned out of that vent. Now we're inside the catcher. Still got some dirt on the bottom around these sensors. Alright, so I loosened these screws. That didn't do anything for me. I popped this off. That doesn't do anything. So I'm going to use a long screwdriver You get down there and scrape the bottom. It's a little hard getting underneath that sensor, that lower sensor down there. I didn't want any lint in contact with that lower sensor. Could be enough to trip it. For this unit, you got these little fingers that slide into those slots. And you want this on the outside. And we'll plug this in. Then for the back, blue tag on top. Here, blue tag forward terminal. Now this screw will go on when the back panel's on. Normally I would test the unit at this stage, but I don't have power hookup out here. So I'm just going to button it up and see how it goes. Okay, you guys don't need any help buttoning that thing up, right? You know all about that. Alrighty. Wait a minute. This lint screen's been sitting in there 4 hours. It's going to need some serious scrubbing, but we don't need that to test the unit. It engaged, but no tumble. Lint filter light. So maybe we have a bad sensor. I didn't see anywhere to reset it. Okay, I'm back inside. I've removed the exhaust pipe, heating element, and this plate is held on with 2 screws. Remove that, and we got clear view of the sensors. And with a multimeter, we want to choose ohms. Remove these wires, just pull those off. This one has a little black clip you push down, and then it pulls out. Okay, we're going to check for resistance. 0. That means that sensor is good. 0 is also equivalent to continuity. Okay, that one's giving me a resistance reading, which doesn't mean it's bad. I would have to check the specs to see if that's an operational range. But if either one of these was at 1, they would be bad. All right, we're testing this sensor on the heating element. Getting 27.7 resistance. So it's not bad, but I don't know what the specs are for that number. Let's check this high temperature while we're at it. This one should be 0. Just like a continuity test. In fact, let's do a continuity. That's what we should hear. So with all the sensors unplugged, here's what I'm getting. Which is worse than before. So that tells me either some or all the sensors are working. So after all that nonsense, I see this wire sitting here. I'm like, well, that just fell off, right, from working. So when I went to put it back on, the wire fell out. I'm like, what the heck is this? So I got to looking at it, and it's like a crimp fitting. You can see the bare wire now because I spliced it. It's like a little crimp fitting. Fits in there. And all I did was put that wire in there like that. And the dryer took off. So I'm going to put that up through there, like that. Solder that into place, and then put the boot back on. So let me show you what that switch does. If you overload the dryer, this will go back and forth, and if it gets unbalanced, it will trip and shut off the dryer. But there's no indicator light, nothing on the display panel that it's tripped. One last thing I'd like to point out. Initially I was thinking this was a lint sensor, but I believe it senses the temperature of the air entering the dryer for like permanent press, delicates, high heat for cotton. Okay, what's this all about? Ah, it stopped. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope this helps someone. The guy that gave this to me stated he was getting a Lint era light. So I put the dryer back in the state it was when I got it. But if you wait long enough, it goes out. So is that normal? So I reattached the wire. And then it goes out. So is that just a reminder to remind folks to check the lint screen? Excuse me. Excuse me. I know you rang your bell, but there's a few folks in the comments section that are curious if you're going to address that clicking sound it's making
while it spins.
Absolutely. That's what I'm investigating right now. Come check out what I found. So I checked the drive unit. That all looked good. So I removed this belt. And you can see it's all worn and cracked. So I'm going to need a new belt. Meanwhile, I figured I'd hit it with some belt dressing, but I couldn't find any. So I treated the belt with this rubber seal conditioner made for RVs, and it's quite impressive. I've got it set to air fluff. No heat.